Okay, so I'm now up to round 87 of Mile Cross. So what you should see is we've now got 3 colours here. So I've got 3 colours attached here, and we're now going to, just for the next few rows, be cycling through them. And you'll know when to do that. If you look at the chart or indeed the written instructions, you should see a new symbol, FF, so 2 lowercase f's together. And that represents a front loop front loop double treble. So that's a front loop treble if you're doing US terms. Front loop double treble 3 rows down. So for round 87, we are going to be using our C3 or X3 colour here. Okay, and when we are doing our mosaic stitches, rather than going into this row 2 rows down, we're going to be going 3 rows down, and that is the only difference. That is basically how you do my 3 round mosaic. So that's how we get 3 colours in a row without actually having to do any mid-row colour changes. Okay, so to get started, we are going to pull up our X3 colour as usual into there. Tighten that down, whoops, so I can get hold of it, and our turning chain. Okay, and then as we have all along, we're going to do our front loop, we're going to do our double crochet chain, double crochet into the back loop of the corner chain. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just work over both of those just for that very first stitch, okay, just to make it less obvious on the back. Then we'll drop those, 1 chain, 1 double crochet. Okay, so that's that first corner done, and we move our marker up into that chain. Okay, so now we start with 1 back loop double crochet, and then straight away we're into 1 FF, so 1 front loop double treble 3 rows down, and where that is going to go is into this corner chain from 3 rows down. So and twice, pull into there, 1, 2, 3. Okay, then we've got 2 back loop double crochet, so make sure you miss that one behind, 1, 2, and then another front loop double treble. So that's now going to go in there. Okay, then 1 back loop double crochet. So that's now the little bits before we start our repeat, because the little houses, oh, I'm getting all tangled that way, the little houses repeat across, so that's a 16 stitch repeat. So for your blanket, you're now going to be doing 10 repeats of what we now do. Okay, so we start with 1 front loop double treble, 2, 3, 1 back loop double crochet, then we've got 4 front loop trebles. So we're now into the house, so this will be under the first window, 2, 3, 4. Okay, then we've got 3 back loop double crochet, so again making sure you're missing the 4 stitches behind there, 3 back loop double, so that's where our door is going to go. Then we've got another 4 front loop trebles, 1 double trebles I should say, 2, 3, 4, then 1 back loop double crochet, 1 front loop double treble, 1 back loop double. So that's our first repeat done. Okay, so now we're going to start again from there. All right, so I'll do 1 more repeat with you, just get some more yarn. So 1 front loop double treble, 1 back loop double, 4 front loop double trebles, Getting a bit sticky here. It's a very hot day today. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. Then 3 back loop double crochets. Oops. Make sure you're missing the 1, 2, 3 stitches there. 1, 2, 3, 4 front loop double trebles, and then we're going to end with a back loop double crochet and a front loop double treble. Okay, so and another back loop double crochet. So that's our first 2 repeats now done. So you just carry along repeating that until you get to the last few stitches before the corner. So repeat that another 8 times, and then we'll go through the next corner together. Okay, so I've now just got up to my first corner. So I've done the 10th repeat for the little houses there. So we've now got 1 front loop double treble. 1, 2, 3. Then 2 back loop double crochets, and then we're back up to working into our corner chain again. So we've got our 1 front loop double treble into there, 2, 3. Okay, then 1, so we're missing that one. We then got 1 back loop double crochet, and that has taken us up to our marked corner chain. So just take that marker out. And as we do in every corner, I believe, in this, 1 double crochet, 1 chain, 1 double crochet, and then say, just to make it easier to find that corner chain, we're going to pop that marker back in. Okay, and now we've come around the corner, so we've got 1, we're now going to start again. So 1 back loop double crochet, 1 front loop double treble, and that's going to go into the same loop that we did our last double treble on the previous side. Okay, then 2 back loop double crochets, 1 front loop double treble, and 1 back loop double crochet, and then we're going to be starting our repeats all again. So then it'll be another 10 repeats of the house pattern along there. So you can carry on around, and I'll meet you when you get back to this last little bit on the very final edge, so basically back where you started, and then I'll take you through finishing that round off and then starting round 88. Okay, so I've now got up to this final corner on round 87. So we're going to end with our front loop double treble, 2 back loop double crochets, and then for this final front loop double treble, what we need to do, we can ignore this loop here. That's basically just our turning chain from the previous round. What we're going to do is make sure we work into exactly the same loop as we started in. That way you won't see that turning chain. Okay, so oops, there goes our last marker's getting in the way, front loop double treble. Okay, so our next stitch is going to be the last one, which is into that marked slip stitch there. So that's our last double crochet. So that's how we've now finished that round, and we're just going to end by our usual slip stitch in there, and then just pop that marker back into that slip stitch. Okay, right, so now we start on round 88. So as you can see, we've still got our 3 colours here. So the next one we're going to be using is our C5 colour, or X1, so the one that we use down here, because we've got doing them sort of switching every 3rd row. So we're going to pull that one up and pull that one through there, pull that tight, keep hold of both of these ends. I'm just going to do our turning chain, and then just going to work. See, we've got our marked corner chain. Oops, start in the back of that and just work over both of those ends just for that very first stitch. Okay, so double crochet, chain, double crochet into that marked corner chain, and then move that marker up. Okay, so for round 88 we're basically going to be putting the doors into our houses, and everything else is going to be back loop double crochets. Okay, so we start, oh, apart from right at these corners here, we do a little fancy bit. So we're going to start the edge, each side rather, there, one double crochet, and then a front loop double treble down there. So that will be into our corner chain from 3 rows down again, if I can get my hook into it. It's only really on this first corner it's usually an issue, for me anyway. Right, one front loop double treble, and then we've got 5 back loop double crochets before we start our actual repeat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so now our repeat is going to start with 6 back loop double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and if you've done it right, this is where you're going to end up. You're going to end up in this little gap here between our front loop double trebles from round 87. Okay, so we're just going to do our 3 front loop trebles to fill that in. 1 double trebles, I can't remember if I said trebles. 3 front loop double trebles to fill that in. 2, 3. Okay, and then our repeat ends with 7 back loop double crochets. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so basically all the way around you're going to be working your front loop trebles just into the corners, so each the front loop double trebles into the front loop, 3 rows down just around each corner, and 3 to fill in these spaces here in the houses, and all the rest of it is going to be back loop double crochets. So you carry on round and do that, and I will see you for round 89. Okay, so I've now just got to the last few stitches of round 88. So we end that with our 4 back loop double crochets, 3, 4, and then as we did before on the previous row, round, 1 front loop double treble into that same corner chain that we did our first stitch into, and then our final stitch is going to go into this marked slip stitch. Okay, there, and then slip stitch into this first double crochet again, and pop a marker in that. Okay, so that's round 88 finished. So now we need to go to our third colour for round 89. So we're going to pull that one up there, get hold of what we've just used, pull that down nice and tight. So now, I'm just working over them. It's not essential to do that, it just helps to hide them a little bit more on the back. That one, you see, I didn't do, so you can see it a little bit more. Okay, but here they're sort of hidden up. Okay, so turning chain. Ooh. Okay, then into the back loop, so every corner will be the same. So in the back loop there, 1 double crochet, 1 chain, 1 double crochet, and then move that up into that chain. Okay, so for round 89 we're going to actually be mixing the front loop double trebles 3 rows down with a few front loop trebles 2 rows down. So we're using both of our FF and our capital F stitches. Okay, so we start with one back loop double crochet and one front loop double treble. So again we're working into this corner chain from 3 rows down. 1, 2, 3, then 2 back loop double crochets, 1, 2 front loop double trebles are going in there. Ooh. 1, 2, then we've got 1 front loop treble. So that is now going to work into the 2 rows down. So it's these are like little sort of blades of grass or fences in between the house, probably fences. Okay, so 1 front loop treble there, and then another front loop double treble down there. So the double treble is going to be worked into the same colour we're using now. The front loop trebles will be worked into the row above that. Okay, so our repeat is now 1 front loop treble, 1 front loop double treble, okay, and then we have 11 back loop double crochet. So all the way across the house here we're just going to be doing back loop double crochets. 1, 2, 10, 11, and then our repeat is going to end with a front loop double treble 3 rows down, a front loop treble 2 rows down, and then finally another front loop double treble. Okay, so that is our repeat. Okay, and then at the corners we're just doing the same as we have really on the last couple. So that should be enough. I think I've shown you all the stitches you need now to complete this, well, complete your whole blanket really. So yeah, hope you enjoy it.